Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again. Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. Going to slide up to the plateau. Going to talk to my good buddy, the head coach of the Cookville Cavaliers, head coach Jimmy Maynord. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Hey, Stork, I'm doing okay.
Well, we've been doing kind of a little run through of the season with each one of the coaches. So let's rewind it as we've got 5 down and getting ready to head in the back half. But you beat Upperman, you beat Livingston Academy, and you beat White County. But you lost to Riverdale and Oakland, which puts you at 3-2, and you catch Coffee County Friday night. Looking back, at the Riverdale and the Oakland game, and those 2 losses, and you just played Oakland. Talk a little bit about that one.
Well, I think last year at this time we were 1-4, so we're obviously a little bit ahead of where we were a year ago at this time. And
Absolutely.
Oakland, they've got, gosh, they just have a ton of athletes. They're really young on defense, but their offense is maybe one of the best ones they've had in a while. So they have a lot of weapons. They're very good in the offensive line. They got experience up in the offensive line. I think their quarterback play has been really good. The kid's doing a good job for them. And of course, they got the transfer in from Brentwood Academy, the running back.
How'd he look?
Who's a great player, and the receiver from Hensworth, and then to go along with some of the other kids that they already had. So they're a very talented offensive football team. And then defensively, they got so much speed. Don't have a lot of size on defense, but gosh, they do. Get off blocks, and they just have speed. And you think you've got a little crease in there sometimes, and it just closes so quick. They do a great job coaching them. But good football team, and obviously we were outmanned a little bit, and I think you have to look at that game and look at the positives and build on that, and then also look at the areas where you have concern and try to improve in those areas.
When you go back to that Riverdale game, and I didn't catch any of that video, but if you felt like you had maybe your other tailback and maybe your other lineman and everything, you felt like you may have, as Coach Rankin would have said, you felt like you may have had a little bit better of a chance of giving him a better game?
Well, it was a good game. I mean, it was a one-score game, and even, with 3 minutes and something left in the game,
right.
It was 14-6, and we had a touchdown call back, which, really hurts. But, Riverdale is probably the most talented team that Riverdale's had since I've been at Cookville, I think, especially on the defensive side. They're so solid on the defense. Their defensive line, their front seven is very good, and of course they've got athletes in the secondary. But, again, I think there was some bright spots in that game, and
yep.
There's something that we just got to continue to try to improve and get better, and we know as coaches, we know the areas that we've got to get better at, emphasize that each week, and that's what we're striving for.
Well, I was just talking to Coach Creasy, and he said penalties was a big thing, he's trying to manage through. How do you feel like you're managing just that part of the game, Coach, just the penalty part of the game, and just because I talked to Coach Rice, they get their brains beat in usually, but they don't get as many penalties. And, talk a little bit about that. How are you managing that?
Well, I think it's, it depends on which particular game. We had a couple of false starts against Oakland that hurt us a little bit, but there was a lot of noise. Their band was playing, their students was beating on the bleachers, and there was just a lot of noise in there, and that was probably some of the reason. But, those are things that you can control, and those are things that you need to control. Sometimes you can't control, if you're outmanned a little bit and you can't control that part of it. But, things like that is, those are things that you should be able to manage, and just a little bit more concentration, a little bit more focus, and you can eliminate some of those things.
Well, we said it before. We'll say it again. You're at 3-2. You're halfway point, and I love the back half of your season as you're heading into it. You catch Coffee, Warren, Siegel, and Rockville and Blackman. You see you got to get a couple of them in there. You got to get a couple of them in there to get into the playoffs. But what do you got to do Friday night against Coffee County? Blackman got a hold of them, and they may be the one that's at the bottom of the region, them and Siegel, but you can't take them lightly. What do you got to do against Coffee County Friday night?
Well, I think they're a much improved team. Coach Green in his second year has come in and last year they defensively they were just not a very good football team at all. And I think they've definitely improved. They've changed their scheme a little bit. Offensively, their quarterbacks looks good. They got some athletes at receiver and a running game, and it's going to be. I mean, we're going to have to play every week from here on out to have a chance. I think we do have a chance, but we got to have to play and play well, to win football games.
Yeah, and you got to have a little luck down the road, and you got to draw a good opponent in that first round and not head into a brick wall the second round if you can. And it's hard because you'd like to end up if you could catch a Mount Juliet or somebody like that and end up. You never know. I mean, you never know. You just got to get in the thing first. Well,
yeah, that's the most important thing. You just got to take care of yourself. I mean, we're in a situation where we can control our destiny, and it's a matter of just going out and playing. I tell you, you mentioned Warren County's on the road. They've got
5-0. Yeah,
and I knew coming into the season, I felt like they were the dark horse of the league all along because, with a Taylor kid at quarterback, and they got some experienced kids. They're a senior-dominated team, and obviously they won a game against Blackman, which they haven't done that in many years, and so they're a team that's definitely going to have to be reckoned with, and they're sitting right now 5-0 and looking pretty good right now.
Speaking, getting ready to make a phone call and then let you go, Coach. But speaking of the other side of the bracket of Rutherford County, on our other side, when's the last time you played a Smyrna or a Stewart's Creek, or have you ever any thoughts of scheduling a non-conference game with one of those schools?
Well, I mean, we played Smyrna. Smyrna was in our region.
Yeah,
We played them, and we've always scrimmaged at Vern in years past, and actually they were on our schedule back when I first took over the job at Cookville High School, and we do, but we place 5 or 6 of the Murfreesboro schools, and in non-region games we try to get we want to schedule games where we feel like the revenue is going to be good, and that's why we have the 3 on there that we do. We have Upland, Livingston, and White County, and all 3 of those games are big money games for us.
Got to have it.
Not a lot of travel, and it's close in proximity, and it's good for the communities, and that's why we're able to get.
Well, and I'm glad you explained that, because you gotta have those games. No different than the Alcoa Maryville games, one of the oldest rivalries, and they continue to play. But I've been screaming that Stewart's Creek's got to play Blackman because they're so close, and that's going to be hopefully a new non-conference game that's going to be scheduled in the future. But anyway, Coach, be careful Friday night, and we wish you the best of luck.
Hey, thanks so much, Stork.
See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.